Hello, my name is Syed Hamiz Hassan and I have the roll number 224137365. So, in this task, we were required to first of all rename the credentials sample file to credentials and then follow those instructions. After that, we had to create our YouTube API and then add the API to the developer key, which can be seen through here in the credentials file. I've added the API over here. Yep. And going back to the d1 file. So the next task was to copy the setting from the collect this one file and from this section, from section B, and this was copied into this file, but this was already present but it was commented, so I just removed the comments and I added my name and my roll number over here. So after that, these were already present as well. We had to import some files, but there was one of which I guess it was called system warning something, which was not importing. So I just tried to, it was generating an error. So I just tried to remove it, and after running my files without it, the files seemed to run properly, because I saw an option in one of the descriptions over here to edit something if needed, like this. So I just assumed that if I remove that import statement from there, then it would become easier. So moving forward, this was also provided beforehand. I just had to run it through here in the Jupyter lab, and after which I had to choose two tasks from 1.1 to 1.7, of which I chose task 1.1 and task number 1.5. So in 1.1, we were required to compare the distribution of the number of views, likes and comments. So here we can see that I have created this data frame which contains the view count, like count and comment count, and from that we make this figure which will have subplots. 1 and 3 show the number of grids we want, 1 being the number of rows and 3 being the number of columns, and this one is about size, so which I defined with the help of ChatGPT, as it gave me an accurate description of which size would be required for this. So after that, there is a for loop in which there is a loop over the columns and the histograms is plotted, and for this histogram I use the help of ChatGPT for the syntax. And after that, this was pretty much straightforward. The tight layout was used to make these lines more distinct, and show was used to display the graphs. And the observations I made were, the first observation was that the scales for x-axis are not similar, hence it is not possible to give exactly accurate information. However, looking at the histograms, the general trend seems similar in views. Let me make a correction over here. In views, likes and comments. And however, the majority of views lie in the range 0.0 into 10 to the power 7, meaning 0, to 0.2 into 10 to the power 7. Majority likes count of video lies in 0 to 10,000. We can see that majority of the like count stays in the range of 10,000. And after that, we see that the majority of the comments count remains in between 5,000 and 0. After that, the second observation I made was that I thought it was safe to say that generally the number of views is always greater than that of the number of likes and comments on videos. Well, this is the case because mostly people just view a video and they don't like or comment on the video. They just view it and they just move on to the next video. and then some of them want to say some good words or some criticism on the video, so they comment, and then even fewer of those after remaining after that decide to like the video or not. So the number of views are always greater than the number of likes and comments, and then the number of comments is greater than the number of likes. So these were the observations I made for this task 1.1. Furthermore, moving to tasks or moving to task number 1.5 in section E, we can see that after running the collect file in Jupyter Notebook, the video CSV file was created, and here I imported that into the data frame. The videos file was imported, the comments file was imported, and then I had to change the comments files comment date to date time type because it was giving an error otherwise. Therefore, I had to change it, and I had to combine both of these files because I had to let me get there. In the videos CSV, there was let me get back to this. Yep. So in the comments file, there were video ID and then the comment date, and there was no channel title over there in the comments file. But in the video file, there was the video ID and the channel title as well. So I had to merge those on basis of video ID, for which I took help from ChatGPT to combine two data frames based on the same column. And this is the syntax which it helped me with. And after that, I grouped that data frame by the channel title, and then the same for loop ran, and then after that there was a probability density function was applied in this with KDE command, and then after that the title, label, and so on, and the rotation was by 90 degrees, which changed these x-axis labels from like this position, the 0-degree angle, to 90-degree angle, which I think is better looking for the x-axis. And we can see that the observations I make are that the most probability of comment replies were between 2020 and 2021, where the comment activity seemed to peak, and we can see that the peaks for all these 4 lines can be seen within that 2020 to 2021 time frame. And after that they just declined, and this was the second observation. The decline in comment replies for the MSNBC, which is the red line, and the Fox News was much steeper than that of BBC News and CNN after hitting their respective peaks. As we can see that for MSNBC and Fox News, the decline was very steep, and for others it was very gradual as compared to the ones for MSNBC and Fox News. So these were my observations for the task 1.5. And then moving on to E2, we had to choose only one of the following questions from E.2.1 to E.2.7, of which I chose E.2.2. At first I chose a different task, but I had difficulty performing that. I guess it was this one. E.2.5 is a relationship between duration of. In this I had problem in one of the columns. However, I had declared the columns, it was called publish at, but when I changed it to index, it was constantly generating an error that I cannot change it. So I have to keep it short. So just moving on to this task. Here I made this function to make the format of duration from, first of all, it was given in letters like PT and DM, something like that, and so after that I had to change it to seconds. So I asked help from ChatGPT to change into this format, which gave me a code like this. I made minor changes to this, and then according to my needs. And after that, I made another data frame as required by the tasks with columns of video ID and comment text. After that, I also, as in this commerce data frame, the channel title was not available. Therefore, again, like the previous task, I had to merge two data frames. So here you can see I have merged over here. This is the new command, but before merging, I had to calculate the mean comment length, which was done in this line by grouping the data with video ID and then finding the mean of the comment length. And then I had to reset the index because it was giving some sort of error if I did not do that. So after that, again the subplots were created, and this was done because when I didn't do this, the plots were very small and it was so cramped up that it was difficult to observe the plots. But then I gave this line to ChatGPT and I told that for some reason the plots are becoming so cramped that it is difficult to observe. And then ChatGPT helped that why not multiply this number of channels, which would separate it out in such a way that would be easier to see. So I did that, and here you can see the scattered plots. And as I'm approaching the time limit, I'm afraid the observation will have to wait for this. But a quick observation is that we can see that generally for MSNBC and Fox News, the number of characters lie below 250 or 225, but for others they lie below 400 to 500, excluding the outliers. So that was all from my side.